Yes, I signed my soul on the dotted line. The kids are in the room, and that's them. They're 10,
Yes.
they're 8, they're 6.
Very, very nice people.
They are people, and I helped create them. But you, on the other hand, are great people. You have a lot of stuff going on right now. You're being very vague about the things that you got going on. Every time I ask you, because I'm not sure, I'm not too sure. You always you have your own production company. You're also the host of things. You're a traveling performer. I don't know if you're a producer yourself. I don't know. Are you?
I was on the phone to England today, to BBC Wales. Actually, we have several TV shows that are in production right now. Sorry, in development, and one of them is a golf show. Hopefully to do with Ian Woosnam over in Wales, and we have 2 other ones that are very, very close to being brought around. My 2 partners are coming back from Banff. You know that, right? From the World Media Festival. They're on their flight back now, coming home. So hopefully we have a couple projects that we will be attending to. But we just signed another deal with a client who wanted 10 comedy videos. They just ordered another. So our production company, I've never been busier. It's amazing.
I'm happy to hear that. Are you a part of the rickshaw pitch? I heard on the CBC a rickshaw pitch from the Banff Festival today.
Rickshaw? I did not hear rickshaw.
Yeah, there was people traveling across Canada, I guess, with a rickshaw that was going to be there, and they were going to record such a festivity of traveling across the country in a rickshaw.
I heard nothing, Adam, about the rickshaw pitch. No.
I listened to the CBC. I've decided that I'm going to live in Canada, so listening to the CBC gives me a heads up on things that are going on in Canada.
Of course.
Yeah, so you are something that goes on in Canada. I actually don't know you from something that goes on out of Canada. Are you from England, or do you do an England thing?
No. My dad is English, so I do have a UK ancestry visa, so I'm over there quite a bit. However,
nice.
I would say half of my, 3/4 of my work is in Canada, and my manager, who lives in Las Vegas, books me in the United States and on cruise ships. And all that junk kind of around the rest of the world. So most of it's in Canada, but a bunch lately. Like I play Atlantic City and Las Vegas and ship, so I do a fair amount of traveling.
Oh, no, that's great. Well, in Canada, I'm not really too sure how this is going to work out for us, but we need to have a star system. And at some point, we have to schedule our first 100 stars.
Right.
And I'm not really too sure how to pull that off, other than you're one of them.
Yay!
Yeah. Well, I'm not on a committee or anything. Right. But sadly, you are the person for me that crosses that boundary. Yuck Yucks, as you proudly told us, you work for and have been on their stages, if not hundreds, thousands of times.
Thousands of times. It started in 81.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. That was a long time ago, man.
Yeah.
I had steady diet of them for 20 years. There are still 2, Adam, that I play every year.
Wow.
The casino in Niagara and the one in St. John's, Newfoundland.
Wow. Okay, so I know you're a busy man, but I did actually talk to Mark Breslin, and his story almost made me cry of how he becomes not magician, whereas that's the performer side. He is just stand-up and has the angst and the anxiety and the, everything that comes along with the fantastic fun of just being the fun of the fun side, not the I'm just trying to introduce look at the card behind your ear trick.
Right.
Which I am so excited to see happen 1,000 times over.
Rob Ross had the best joke. I've actually tried to buy it from him a couple times.
Okay.
If your kids are still there, it's a comedian that it basically is doing a he says, I love it as a comedian. I'd like to go in and if I were a magician in a old folks home, you go up to someone and you go, hey, what's that behind your ear? Oh, a hearing aid. I thought it was the funniest joke. I tried to buy it off him, but he wouldn't sell it to me because he was still using it. But it's a great joke.
Yeah, no, Rob Ross, he's on my list of people that I would like to have be a part of my dad's show, which is also another show that I'm running here on the Palmcast Network. Yeah, and you have, as we'll promote right at the end as we kick off, but you have your own website that, did you make it yourself?
No. You know what? I just revamped it. I had the gentleman who did, his name's Kevin Kelly. I mean, I got to give him a plug because he did our corporate one for my production company, True Gravity. I saw what he did there, and I went, "Wow, Kev, you got to come and help me, buddy."
Oh, okay.
So he did the whole thing, DavidMary.com. I assume I'm allowed to say that.
Yeah, I would hope you say it over and over and over again. The truth of the matter is, I invite you on here to talk to my children, and then it's your show. Is there anything and anything you want to talk about? The truth is, this was going to be a conversation I was going to have anyways. That's kind of the catch. That there's a hook. That would be it. My kids, I'm hanging out with them anyways because they're my kids. People are like, "Oh, you have to babysit your kids." No, they're my kids.
This is educational babysitting, though, right? I mean, how good is that? I mean,
right.
Do you talk to? Let me ask you, because I'd like to know.
Yeah.
I'm going to. What I would like to know is when it comes to other guests, they're not primarily in the entertainment business, or are they?
All of them at this point. I'm reaching out to people who I know over the course of the last 25 years of my life. I've been involved in the performance game. The last 10 years, I've been on the Out There with Melissa DeMarco show and dealing with her. And before that, I was dealing with Comedywood as a
of course
as a showman, which you came out and supported. And I've seen you on so many things. And what I love about you surpass professionalism. There's something about your performance that allows you to, you're not glib, but
right.
But it's
no, I know what you're driving at. You know what? People come up to me and they go, "You look really relaxed, or you look really at home." And here's the deal: I actually make it look like I don't care. And as you know, as a performer,
right.
When the audience is relaxed, they're relaxed. So I became the funniest that I could be the night that I learned how to relax on stage. And I almost remember the night. It was at Yuck Yucks, maybe about sadly it wasn't until about maybe 8 or 9 years into me doing it that I realized what the trick was. And the trick is, if you can be relaxed on stage, that's when you're going to be your natural funniest. So it's supposed to look like I don't care. I mean, I try and look very devil may care and just kind of not caring. I mean, nothing could be further from the truth. It's all very, very prepared, but I try and put people at ease. And when I'm having fun, they're having fun. And you know that, right? It's not a trick, but it's more of a secret.
Yeah. I have to be honest because I don't know. I came from a different place. I have a guitar. And so I am a variety performer, just like yourself. That's why I really do put you on a different pedestal. You are the trailblazer, because if David Mary plays there, I should be able to play there.
My kind of guy. I like your thinking, man. I like your thinking. And you know what? It was weird because you had the same issues that I did, having to go up against straight monologists, right? Or not go up against them.
Well, that's what it feels like, because it's the stage time that's the goal that you're fighting for, right? I mean,
you betcha. And when they say a guy heading to the stage with the guitar or the word Casio under his arm, or
Jay Sankey, when you say Casio, all I think is Jay Sankey. Again, one of the best sleight of hand magicians I've ever seen
on the planet.
But when I saw him do his Comedy Now episode with a Casio, I said, "You know what? You know what you're doing."
I was the guy that got Jay into stand-up.
Oh.
And he'd even tell you that. I came out on stage one night at Yuck Yucks. He was in the front row, sitting there, and we've been friends forever. We opened up Wonderland together, and we used to practice. Like back in the day, we used to practice and come up with moves and stuff at his dad's office building in the middle of the night. We would just do these all-night jam sessions. But anyway, one day I came out. He was in the front row at Yucks, and then we went out for lunch the next day. He goes, "Dave, can I pick your brain? I'd like to get into comedy." So you can't show someone how to do it, but as you know, you can cut down their learning curve, right?
Right. Well, you can because you guys are also cut from the same jib. I mean, you cut from the same cloth. I mean, you're coming from exactly the same spot. Jay Sankey is somebody who, again, we know we're entertainers. Now, that's what makes... See, everybody who's on my show that is 100% just a stand-up comedian, at some point, I bring it down and I say, "Hey, man, how are you? How are you? How are things going?"
I love it.
No, I'm being serious. My kids are in the room. And the truth of the matter is, that's what needs to happen.
That now, right?
I love that people who are trying to make me laugh are sacrificing their actual life force.
Here's the deal.
Yeah.
Here's the deal.
Go ahead.
Because I have my hand in so many different projects. People go, "Are you traveling?" Most people know that I travel. Like it's crazy.
I didn't know you
I,
traveled as much as you were saying. I did not know you were doing boats and cruises. I
oh yeah,
mean,
no, no.
that's
Last
a.
year, sadly, I got my. I mean, it's not. I'm not proud of this. It's more.
I'm
It's
not proud of
bad,
this.
bad,
What?
badge of honor. Last year, I got my elite status with Air Canada by May, which is not. I mean
No,
that's
it
not.
is. No, you're
So,
bragging, and it's like an
no, no.
anti-brag. It's very funny.
Well, no, I'm saying so this year I've cut my traveling way back because of this production company. We have so many projects on the go. It's terrific. I'm absolutely loving it. So I played three nice theaters last week up in, pardon me, Aurelia at the Opera House, and then down in London at the Grand Theater. I mean, it was amazing. And then one other place. And I'm back at Caesars this Tuesday. So I'm doing some local traveling. But if I were to tell you I'll tell you where I am in October because
Hold on. I'm confused. Caesars, is that not in Vegas?
sorry, Caesars Windsor.
I get confused. So because when you said the Opera House, that's in Toronto, but now it's in Aurelia.
No, they have an. It's an opera house. It's not the opera house.
Wow. Good job.
And,
Good job. Good save. All right.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm with you now. So what? So where were you now? I was
but,
getting
but
lost in your
October,
geography. I was getting
October
lost.
will make you giggle. October will make you giggle. Andrew Gross gave me a jingle, and I'm
I
going to go out
do
and
like
do the
I do like me
Edmonton
some
Comedy.
Andrew Gross. Go ahead.
He gave me a call, and I'm going to go out and do the Edmonton Comedy Festival for him on October. The week after that, I have to be in New York, and then over down to Tampa Bay. Then I have to be in Chicago, Albuquerque, New Mexico, and then Wellington, New Zealand. Now you do the math on that.
When you get to Albuquerque, make sure you make a left.
Make a left at Albuquerque.
Other than that, I really don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Anyway, so you were asking how are things? How things are really good, actually,
Yeah.
in particular, because
Well, no. I would have been
because
asking
I
that
have
if
my hands in so many bloody parts
no,
of the
no,
pot.
no. See, because you have your hands in so many pots, I wouldn't be breaking it down and saying, "Hey, man, how are you?" Because the truth is that you're not a stand-up philosopher. That's not your mainstay. That's not you're not living and
No.
breathing philosophy. You're not living and breathing the state of being. You know when you get up on stage what you are performing are bits.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Which divides you from people who are living the craft and they're taking it right on
well,
the chin, you know.
well, let me. Interesting, because I did that for 20 years.
Hold on. You were
Am I
just doing
currently-
stand up? Just doing stand up? I thought you were always a magician or a variety performer.
But I was living, and are you talking about straight monologist?
Well, you see, monologist is an interesting conversation. Stand-up comedy is one man, one shot, and just because you can pull a... See, the way Mark Breslin broke it down was at no time are you allowed to pull a balloon animal out. So you can't be a stand-up comic if at
that
any
made me
point in
laugh
time
earlier.
a balloon animal makes an appearance.
That is hilarious. Do you remember Paul Wildbaum?
No, I don't, and now you're making me feel like I don't know the industry.
Well, that's okay. And I didn't mean to have that as an awkward moment, but it's too late for that anyway. So
Yeah,
here's the
we're
deal.
surpass it. Moving forward.
So he a very funny mime, and someone came up to him. He would go up on stage and do some mime, and he, like me, would have a suitcase full of junk. And so one comic came up to him at a party after and said, Paul, a well-written joke doesn't take up any trunk space. And then Paul immediately said, yes, but a well-written joke can't play Poland.
Oh, nice.
Isn't that hilarious? It's hysterical. So it's just
Yeah.
been a great quote. Look, I never hack on whatever anyone does for
Yeah.
To make people laugh. But we were getting back to our conversation before.
Right.
I didn't know there was a breakdown between stand-up comic per se and monologist and a comedian as a comic, as someone that gets up and tells stories.
Hold
Whatever the
on.
term.
Back in 1981, when you were on the stage of the Mark Breslin's Yuck Yucks, 1976, it starts itself off. In 81, you're all, I'm here and I'm now.
You bet.
You don't know that you're a part of something that is specifically a brand and an idea of the opening act is just as strong as the headlining act. You don't know that you're a part of that. I mean, it's a brand. It's its own thing. So you don't know that you're a part of being a part of. a craft. I mean, it's its own thing. I mean, I grabbed out the guitar, and then they said, there's only you and 4 other people in Canada while you're doing that. I went, well, I'm confused. The truth of the matter is I would never have thought about the guitar out, but when I was over teaching Tommy Stade how to play guitar at Ron Voldry's house, Ron Voldry heard me, and he says, "You are the crappiest comedian I've ever heard." But you need to bring up that guitar. That's some good stuff there. I mean, that if you have a talent, that might be it.
So I think, and I'm not sure, but I think your question was, did I ever just breathe and live and breathe the art of stand-up by itself?
Yeah, that was actually the conversation. Yeah, well, did that ever happen in your career?
I did that for 2 years.
Yeah, I tried it for 6 months, and at some point I said, you know what? Ronnie Edwards, man, everyone does something. And I'm like, I can't do this. It's not my thing.
Actually, what I did, I wanted to prove to myself and to the other guys that I could do stand-up. And so actually it was the most important chop that I ever learned. It was fabulous. I mean, that's how I got the 2 TV shows, hosting the 2 TV shows that I got.
No, dude, you are, and that's what I'm saying. You really own comedy.
Why would you ever hire a magician to be a host of a TV show unless the guy knows what he's doing just verbally, right?
See, you say verbally, but you mean comedy, comedically.
Well, all I'm saying is I don't need to stand up there and pull out shiny objects to get my point across.
Yeah, but you could.
Oh, no. What I'm going to say to you after, Adam, is that after the 2 years of just doing straight stand-up so I could learn the art, I went back to my actual first love, and that is doing magic. And all of a sudden my show was way funnier and I had way more magic in it, but it was twice as funny.
Right, because you knew how to tell a joke, because you worked the craft out to work out how the craft of telling a joke is, and you already knew how to do the magic, which already was entertaining all on its own. Now, cause there's the 5 faces of magic, and only one of them includes comedy. The rest of them are like alluring, and they're
that's right,
standoffish. Like you don't know if the guy's from the dark. Oh, he's a mind freak. And then
there was a magician, a very funny guy from England, Billy McComb, and he was doing a magic convention, as I do. I'm flown all over the world by magicians. They think I'm quirky enough to be entertaining them at their conventions. Billy McComb was asked in an interview at one of the magic conventions, do they prefer comics or magicians? And he said, it was very unpopular, but he said, people will not cross the road to see a magician, but people will cross the road to see a comedian. And You know what? It's hard to argue with that, because of the bad name that some magicians, it doesn't have a great connotation when you go, what do you do for a living? I'm a magician. So I don't say that. I've never said that. I say I'm a comic.
No, you see, I hear what you're saying. I want to take the flavor. See, what I love about being a magician is that you're crossing the line of variety, and everything I've ever done is variety, and my bad taste in my mouth comes from the people who are just stand-up comedians. Like they're
Seriously?
I started
very interesting. Wow.
I started a club back in 1995 called Spirits Bar and Grill.
Of course.
And I don't know. I don't think you've ever been there with me being at the helm.
With you there? No. I've only been there 3 times altogether.
Right. And right now, the lady who brought it to fame and glory of 18 years of success is Joanna Downey, who is suffering from ALS. And people are doing things in charity forms to help her. I would say last year, the most money I gave to charity willingly is to Joanna Downey. She worked hard to help the up-and-comer. And I was always very big on, I like the up-and-comer, but I don't care about stand-up comedy specific. I like the juggler. I like the magician. I want a plate spinner on every show.
Look, first and foremost, why do you think I do what I do? Funny is funny, but first and foremost, you got to be funny,
First and foremost, wanting to be funny isn't magic. First and foremost, magic would be to be entertaining, and that's always been my goal, is to be entertaining, and that's where I've been having the hardest time with people. It's like, well, as long as it's funny, and I'm like, no, as long as it's entertaining.
Well, whatever the term is.
No, funny is a thing, where entertaining is, wow, that was something I didn't get in my living room.
I got you. So you're not all that concerned about being funny. You're concerned
funny
about
for me is a side effect. Like I told Mark Breslin, it's a defense mechanism. I'm funny so I don't cry. So it's a weird place to live, to say, oh, I'm telling doctors and lawyers and dentists daily that I'm dying, and they're laughing, and I'm like, It's just because it's how I expel and expedite information. It's funny, and then they repeat it back to me, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I hear why it's funny and why you think it's funny, but guess what? I'm dying over here.
I got you. Now, I guess the difference between us two there, being both variety acts, is that I'm certainly trying to entertain, but I am doing my utmost to make people laugh.
Yeah, so, that's a side effect.
Very, very heavy on the laughter part. In fact, some people say, are you a comic or a magician first, or do you do comedy magic? I actually, to be honest with you, I kind of say that I have my own little category. I do stand-up comedy magic.
Yeah, no, you have it. No, you have it. There's a couple of guys that I would put not beside you, but in your category for sure. To watch you all night long is the problem. Could you watch 100 minutes of just magic? That's the question in my world.
I agree.
No, I love variety.
You better be clipping along at an alarmingly good and funny rate for you to sit there and watch 100 minutes of it, right?
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean,
I tight show right now. Like, of all the good A stuff, the most current stuff that I'm doing right now sits at 1 hour, and I think that's all people look. That's all people need to see me for, and it's a really good tight. As you can imagine, I've been doing it a long time. The current hour that I'm doing now is pretty good.
I have never. Okay, you step on stage. I've never not been entertained. That's the truth of the matter. And as a hypersensitive Jew, where I can at any turn things can bother me. Not you, sir. And so you're okay. So we're on the same plane. You said you had 3 boys. That intrigued me. I didn't even know you were married. That's awesome.
Oh my God! Really? Come on. No, my guys. Okay, your guys still smell like cookies.
Behind the ears, yes, only.
Right, my guys. Yeah. I played golf with my eldest today. My other 2 are up at the summer camp. Now that sounds like they're young, but they are the assistant director and the head of programming. So they're, in other words, one of them is 21, the other's 23, and my eldest is 25. That's where I'm at.
That's where I'll be in 18 more years.
And so I guess the back end of that little comment was that they don't smell like cookie anymore. They smell like beer. Beer.
Oh, man,
but I have 3 boys like you. I haven't put money away for weddings. I put money away for bail, just in case. Just in case.
Wow, that's perfect. And right? Are you still finding yourself an Ontarionite? Are you still an Ontarian?
I am. I lived in Las Vegas for 1 year, 1,000,000 years ago. Before I had learned my magic, but I was gambling. I was playing blackjack for a living for 1 year down in Las Vegas, and then I came back and got into stand-up comedy. So I've lived here my whole life, yeah. And I made a conscious decision not to move to Los Angeles when a bunch of my buddies did. I thought, I'm going to have my family be very comfortable and very happy. I'll be the one that flies in and out, and I won't uproot them. They don't have to move away, and that worked out well.
Another person I spoke with on the show is a John Wing Jr., and I discussed the Jr. Again, he's one of the people that allowed to blaze the trail for me. If John Wing Jr. can show up, I can show up, as he has a guitar and a bow tie.
You got it.
Yeah, you're for sure. And
Johnny and I played golf last week. He was the guy that was on the 3 shows that I was just talking about.
Yeah, I know. Facebook, social media, one of the things that I use to promote this particular show and others. Yes, I actually read that, you and John Wing, and I'm allowed to say Junior. As an author, he's still Junior. Junior for me that's how I met him. That's how he's going down. That's all I can say.
John Wing Jr. His father is a lawyer like my father-in-law. They knew each other. They were 1 year off at law school 1,000,000 years ago. Oh God, they're both lawyers. Oh yeah.
Oh, hold on. No, I actually didn't know I didn't know that you. I knew that you played golf. I knew that both of you were variety performers. I did not know that both of your fathers were in the same law firm or the same school.
My father-in-law, and John Wing Sr.
Right.
He practiced criminal law down in Sarnia, and my father-in-law practiced basically it was taxation law, but they both went to what's the big law school in Toronto?
I couldn't tell you.
What the heck's it called? Down at part of U of T.
I couldn't tell you. Part of U of T is good enough for me. U of T law. I mean, what do you want me to say? There's a place. So he was saying on social media that he was like thanking you and thanking others that he broke a 77.
He can play. No, I got news for you. He can play. Oh yeah. we had a great time. I took him out with my the lady that taught me the game, and he was thrilled. He put a nice picture up on Facebook. Her name's Marlene Street,
Right.
and she is in the World Golf Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's funny because when we did speak, when he was talking, because my kids asked the same questions basically because they're kids, he said tennis, and golf wasn't even on his agenda, I don't believe, and he was a big fan of playing tennis. Did you ever play tennis with Mr. Wang?
I never have. I never have with Johnny.
So
I should though.
Well, that's his sport.
Osgood Hall is what I was thinking of.
Oh, Osgood Hall.
Yeah. Well, since then I've Googled it. I didn't want you to think all of a sudden it came to me, you know.
That's funny. You could have. I mean,
but I owned up. I know it's like nobody can see me Googling it.
Yeah, you're right. This is the best 1950s game show you've ever been on. You can just Google the answers.
I have never played tennis with him. Have you played tennis with him?
I have not played tennis with him. What I had done with him. So you and I, we didn't even work together. You were just on the show that I was booking,
right.
And again, every time I've ever seen you, you've done nothing but entertain me. So again, the name was brought up by Mr. Mark Breslin, whose name has now synonymously been just turned into Yuck Yucks. You ask somebody 28 years old and younger who Mark
Right.
Breslin is, they don't know.
Right. No, yeah, exactly. But if you were to say he owns Yuck Yucks,
Yeah, they now know who he
Yahtzee.
is. What Yahtzee? Yahtzee's basically better than. But the same thing. The same question was posed to Kenny Robinson. He's now the Nubian Disciples of Richard Pryor.
that's right.
I mean, he did the best he could, and his name is now synonymous with the up-and-coming Nubian Disciples of Richard Pryor.
Oh, now that I did not know. I've been out of the loop in that regard, and Kenny's a good friend of mine. I did not know that he's synonymous with that.
Wow.
I saw Breslin the other day. We just did a TV show. What's his name? Who's the really rich guy that was in jail?
Which guy that was in jail? Conrad Black?
Exactly. We did Conrad Black's TV show.
You're kidding me. I'm just making up names at this point.
Hysterical. I did Zoomer TV. Mark Breslin and I, and Evan Carter, another funny comedian.
Conrad Black?
He did Conrad's TV show. And I asked him during a commercial break, I said, so what was prison food like?
Oh, you're kidding me now.
And if you know me, that you know that I don't care. That doesn't bother me in the least to ask that question. I'd ask you, how is prison food?
How is the prison food?
So anyway, he said, actually, you know what? Not so bad. So he was a good guy. He was a very good guy. I could do his TV show again anytime. He was a very nice man.
That is so funny.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah,
that's the last time I saw Breslin.
Just recently. That's recently.
We shot that 2 weeks ago.
Wow, that's funny. Okay, but as I was saying that, but Kenny Robinson, he just celebrated a month ago 20 years of doing the Nubian Disciples. Every Sunday, it's a monthly show that goes on at the Yuck Yucks, if you didn't know.
Right, but I did not know that he was, basically known for that, and that'll be like.
If you're in Vancouver and you mention Kenny Robinson, they might not know, but if you mention in Vancouver, hey, have you done the Nubian Disciples night? They will. Oh yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Wow. Well, that's good. That actually says something. I mean, that's quite a. I mean, that's good in that respect,
Well, it is not, but not for the. See, Mark Breslin doesn't want to own Yuck Yucks in that fashion. He thinks he did pretty well owning his own name, but
right. Mark Breslin's Yuck Yucks.
Yeah, right. He thinks that was what. And then Kenny Robinson went the other way, which it is what it actually is, where he says, he did his best to help others, and so he sold his name.
That's it.
Yeah, that's what he did, and you. You didn't sell your name. You are who you are. But just recently, and recently I mean within the last 6 months, the amazing Jonathan was on the Mark Maron, WTF, and he was talking about how he has an illness that's killing him.
Sadly, he's a friend of mine. I mean, I've been out with him socially, and sadly, we've been bowling and stuff together. He likes to bowl. You know what? I'll tell you. He's not good. He retired last year because the ticker. He had a whole bunch of bad living, and I think his ticker's down to. I think he said it's beating at like 20%, and when it gets to 12, they just stop. So the poor guy is 55. I don't know. Maybe he's got another 6 months or something.
Right.
And he's one of my.
You brought him up, and that's the only reason I'm only bringing him full circle because of that. Now he's someone who's actually the other side. Again, a variety performer. Knows he's doing a job. Now he didn't do this to himself. Is this bad living? Is this like just a lot of drinking, a lot of drugs? No.
He doesn't drink. No,
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. This is a genetic thing that takes over.
No, that's all drugs.
What?
He doesn't drink. That's all hardcore drugs. Yeah.
Oh, it was all. Oh, it was hard.
Oh yeah, no, that's a lot of bad living. Oh yeah, no, we don't need to get into it now. What he was doing, but oh yeah, no, very bad living.
But no, the kids don't need to know. Other than what we've been doing lately is promoting medicinal marijuana. And if someone had to choose drinking a 40 ounce of anything or smoking a joint, I would smoke the joint. I would be a big fan of smoking the joint.
You betcha. And
right. My kids are in the room, so again, we're having that conversation with my kids in the room. But I do have my card. I do have just recently I've been diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and it's not a joke, but just so I can remember it with a mnemonic device.
That is a malady. Is that correct?
Fibromyalgia, and the joke I say is it's not your algia, it's myalgia. Get your own algia.
And is it an eye thing or a lung thing?
It's a nerve thing.
No, but nerve where?
There's 12 points of fibromyalgia that are points of just pain that happen, and that's what gives you the diagnoses of fibromyalgia.
I see. So you are a subscriber to this medicine?
To medical marijuana?
Yeah.
They were giving me 320 Tylenol 3s a month.
Right. That seems like a lot.
It because it actually is. So my liver, because I'm also on a heavy dose of methotrexate. If you don't know what that is,
but who isn't?
Most people.
I was trying to be flippant.
Yeah. Other than AIDS and cancer patients who take 3 times the dosage I do, but it still helps with my autoimmune deficiency.
Okay, let me ask you, how are you? Are you okay?
No, you're not wrong. It's a good question. I am going to go see some psychiatric therapy. I need a coping skill. I'm in more pain than I'm supposed to be in. So just daily, my kids are, Dad, just stop yelling, and they know they can't use certain trigger words because with fibromyalgia, there's depression and mania that attaches to it, as well as foggy brain and confusion. And I know it's 52 years old. I have it's too young to start hiding my own Easter eggs, and I'm Jewish, so let's.
So you first of all, you're not going to have them. Second of all, you could do it, but it's not going to look good for your team, right?
Right. That's the problem. So I'm doing my best to take as little oral medication as possible. And because I used to be a 2-pack a day smoker, I quit in 2005. Did you ever smoke the terrible weed? And
I did. Right up, I'll tell you when I quit 25 years ago, just before my son was going to be born, because I thought if I keep smoking and my wife, Kathy, who also smoked, doesn't smoke, that would be so unfair. So we stopped at, let's say as soon as we found out Adam was going to be born. So I've been smoking 25 years.
And you just said Adam, right?
I did.
That's a great name.
Adam
Powell would say
it's no Kenan.
It's no Canaan, that's for sure. But that's Canaan is the land of Israel, right before.
Is Canaan still there?
He is. He's right here, but I'd have to turn on his microphone, and then he'd just start making noises.
That's okay. Is Samson? Is everyone still there?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Are they riveted, or are they watching X-Men or something?
No, we can't watch TV, but they one is thumbing through a crossword, but they are listening, which is part of the point. And then later on, they'll ask, what was it that he said about this? And I said, well, we can play it back because it's recorded.
Hey, that's a big operation you got there.
Well, it is. I got my little 4-track recorder. I got my Zoom. I'm excited. What I get from this, by the way, with because it has been a long road. I haven't had a short-term memory for a while, and so this started with my wife and I sitting in a room called Live from My Bedroom, so she could tell me how my life was going awry, and I could listen to it back and then apologize the next episode. So that was basically it for the first 13, and I learned a lot about me and about us, and honestly, it made me feel better about life and the whole journey.
Now, is that the affliction that you're talking about? Is that chronic pain?
It is chronic. Yeah, it is. The
pain
is chronic.
Degenerative. I mean, is it?
Yeah. Well, parts. See, the problem is I have fibromyalgia as well as my C1, my C2, and my C5 spine. or have a problem because I had a car accident when I was 15. So that's some pain as well. And I was misdiagnosed with psoriatic arthritis, so I had overdose of meds I didn't need, and so
You're battling some issues, buddy.
What's that now?
You're battling some issues there, bud.
I'm battling some bad information from people that are just practicing medicine. The problem is that's all they're doing is truly just practicing.
So you got some bad intel.
I did, and now that people are trying to help me set me straight, the person who was trying, he said, if you don't know what psoriasis is, it's your skin grows 27 times faster than normal, and it creates these things called sites that are basically bleedy and they hurt, and they look very scaly. So I'm basically 90% covered in scales if I'm not taking my methotrexate. And my old doctor, this new doctor guy, he says, well, let's just take you off all the meds. And I said, wait, you want me to look like the Elephant Man? He says, well, I need to know, what's going on. I'm like, you need to know what it feels like if I throw you through a window. Right. So I'm gonna go see a psychiatrist on the 19th of this month.
Paul.
Yeah, well, it's because
you got everything covered there, pal. You got everything covered.
Yeah, you can't, as the kids know, you can't tell a little Chinese man he's gonna go see the outside of a window. You can't do it. You're not allowed. So I'm going to go see someone, talk about a coping skill. But the problem was when I went to go see the people he sent to me as a second opinion, those people said, what kind of crazy person would take you off a drug that's working? So, so I'm in a world of crazy. And after just speaking with Alan Park, who diagnosed with cancer, who's fighting it through medicinal marijuana, who is doing what he needs to do through medicinal marijuana, and it is working.
Can I ask you, Alan's? He's been on the show, has he?
Yes, he has. He's going to be. You're going to hear everything he had to say with no edits this Friday coming, and you'll be on the Friday following. That would be how this thing's going to.
I will be glued to that because I did not know Al had that.
Yes. Oh, my lordy. He has prostate cancer, which he has been fighting diligently. It came back full throttle in January, and he went back. He actually had one radiation treatment, and his PSA was, he said, over 1,200, which is now under 120. And your PSA should be around 3 or 4 or 5.
It's supposed to be 3, because I have an issue.
Yeah, 3 or 4 or 5.
Sorry, it was at 120?
120 is where it is now, and it's declining, but it was at 1,200.
I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what kind of a category that is. Mine got up just a hair over 3, and then we had I had something done to it, which was terrific. This medication, and it's back down under 3. So, but anyway, good Lord, eh?
Yeah, no, it's the world of medicine again. Practicing medicine, even though it's a good joke, it feels nice, but it's true. It's a truism. They went to school to have the option to treat us like lab rats, and we show up and we are the 1 o'clock.
That's it. No, it's, you know what? But thank God they're there.
No, you're not wrong. If it wasn't for the methotrexate and whoever came up with that for 50 years of study, I wouldn't feel like a human being right now. The problem is the doctor wanted to take that away from me, and I did not know how to go back to being a scab.
Right.
Anyway, no, I said it because it's funny. That's the problem. That's my problem. It's a defense mechanism. It's not because I'm trying to be funny. I wish it was because I was trying. That would make it even like I'm being crafty and talented. So
you do these every Thursday night.
I do.
And where does your wife go on Thursdays?
My wife is at work. She's my wife and I are both part-time workers and full-time parents.
Perfect.
Yeah. That's the point, I think.
So you got a nice night with the kids, and you do your family iPod or pod show, and it's great.
Yeah, Palm. I don't want to promote the Apple product since it is the most powerful company in the world. You robot.
It is.
Yeah, it truly is.
Oh.
Don't you worry. You're more important than anything that's ever happened.
Housekeeping.
Yeah, Wow, because you've lived the road. You are the road comedian.
I did a lot. However, having said that, I'm not one of those guys, like one of those road monkeys. The longest, this may amaze you, I don't know. The longest I was ever on the road was 2.5 weeks. No, 3 weeks.
That's impossible.
The longest I was ever on the road at one time. I had no interest in going on long trips. I mean, that was bad. It would be 3 weekends. So it would be just under 3 weeks was the longest. It nauseates me.
Hold on. Were you married already? How'd you pull that off?
Yeah, but I love being at home. I have so many projects going that I don't like to go away for that long. But here's what I learned maybe 3 years ago when I started writing. I love to write. I wrote 2 movies and a sitcom on airplanes.
Okay.
You use your time correctly. It is astonishing. I used to watch, movies and TV on, and then I went, okay, I have all these ideas in my head. I have to write these movies. I wrote one, the first one, which is called The Referral. People say, oh my God, it must be hilarious. It's a suspense thriller. And then the second one is a horror movie called Dead and Breakfast. And it takes place over in Ireland, and it's just nasty. It's like Saw. And then I finally started writing a comedy, because I now feel, even though I've been a comedian for 30 years, I'm now qualified to go back to doing what I do from a writing standpoint, and that is the art of comedy on the page. So I've started writing this comedy, and I'm 50 pages into the 100-page screenplay, and it's the best thing I've ever written.
Are any of them into any type of development deal or something?
Yeah, my company is actively pitching, those two, but my other partner has one as well. It's a sports movie, which is an astonishing story. I can't get into it, but so pitching all three, yeah.
Pitching is pitching. Development is development. Someone's giving you a hunk of money just to sit there and go, you know what I like? A good opening. So I'm asking if someone's thrown some money towards. I know you just produced a whack of TMIs. I know that I saw that come past my door.
Right.
We did. I don't know.
There were 36 episodes. I was on 12. 12.
Yeah.
I did 12.
Yeah. When's that airing? Has it aired? And where is it?
Yeah. No, they started in. I'm going to say. I don't think I'd be too far off by saying in February, and maybe they're on episode. Well, maybe they're finished now, but I think 36. Well, 36 weeks past February, so maybe they're on like episode 28.
Hold on, were you on it, or were you? I thought you were a producer or a writer. I thought you were.
No, I was on the TV show. I was a cast member. Yeah.
Oh no! I thought you were, because the way you were promoting it sounded like you, at least whatever it was, you wanted to be involved and wanted it to happen. That's for sure.
Mike Geddes, who had me on, he's president of Lone Eagle. He had me on two other TV shows. I was the host for two TV shows for him, and then he had me on this one.
Right, and I've seen you as a host of game shows. I mean, comedians.
Game on, buddy.
Yeah, game on for sure.
The other one was a golf show called Get a Grip on Golf, but I also did another one down in Las Vegas called Thunderball, which was the world long distance driving championships.
Right.
So I hosted that, but Mike had me on this new show this past year called Too Much Information. It was a riot. It was great.
Right. Okay. So that seems to be. I mean, you hit me for everything I had. I thank you very much for bringing some visual aids, but it is an audio cast. I really love to thank you about the theater of the mind, and I was trying to bring my kids to that kind of vision. And also I like people to be able to be comfortable in their underwear. That's my favorite thing. I don't need to see.
That's hysterical. You think I'm wearing underwear?
Well, I would hope that you're wearing underwear, but I know you're wearing an Asian hat. That was fun.
Thank you.
That was interesting. I don't know how you wear headphones with that. That's the second half.
Headphones? Who the hell has headphones in their computer?
Headphones with an Asian hat. I mean, how do you pick the rice? So here's the thing. So is there anything that's coming up that you want to this is your time. Whatever you want to promote. I know you have your new website, which is justyourname.com, and anything else?
DavidMary.com. I think we're heading into summer, which is a typically very slow time public show wise for comics. So just at the back end of that, the beginning of the fall, I'm going to be at the Edmonton Comedy Festival, and then I'm off to points south, here all over the map. But so I guess public show wise, just because I did that set of theater shows last week with John, I'd say just the Edmonton Comedy Festival coming up in the fall.
Okay. If you're in Edmonton, and by the way, when I was in Edmonton, it was the only place that I would say is the true place. If you live in Edmonton, you are Canadian.
That you are a hardcore Canadian.
You are a hardcore Canadian. I love people from Edmonton. That's
a hardy bunch, right?
I agree. No, I've been all across Canada. I've been to Vancouver all the way through to Newfoundland, and when I got to Edmonton, these guys want to be here.
No, I agree.
Yeah. So I would love to go there again and again and again. David, thank you very much for your time. My kids have smiles from ear to ear. MagicTonight.ca, if you don't know, is a sponsor of ours. I would love that variety show to go on forever. And you have been on that stage.
You guys have been to that show? Well done. James Allen, a buddy of mine. In fact, The only reason that I didn't go to the show tonight in Mississauga to see my friend Michael Close was because I was doing your.
Oh, don't say that. Michael Close, one of the greatest magicians in Canada. Wow.
How do you, Michael? Michael's one of the good guys. He and I have a friend in common. We're both very close friends with a guy that he's known. I think I'm going to say maybe 10 years longer than me, but one of the hosts. Well, the host from. Or not the host, but the star of Night Court, Harry Anderson.
Well, no, he is. No. Okay, I would say he is the godfather of magic comedy.
No, he's the king, and I've known Harry for years. I owned a theater out in Pickering up till about 2 years ago, and Harry came and played it for me. Yeah, so
is he still doing what he's doing?
He is, yeah. He still loves to tinker and to get out and show young kids how to do it and stuff. He's a great guy. I booked us at the casino in Regina 2 years ago, and we had a riot.
Okay, I have to have him booked in Toronto at one of the rooms that I'm going to turn into a variety room at some point. Harry Anderson totally needs to be there if he is still doing Harry Anderson, if you know what I mean.
He's so good. Are you kidding?
By the way, David Mary, sadly, because we're Canadian and have no star system, you are our Canadian. You are our Harry Anderson.
Thanks, guys. Boys, Benjamin, Samson, Keena, good to see you guys. Or good night.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being on the show, and I'll say goodnight off air. Every highway starts to look the same. Mile markers are my minutes in my day. Through my mirrors I can see my home behind me. I sign my soul on the dotted line. Yes, I sign my soul on the dotted line. Yes, I sign my soul on the dotted line. Okay.